Our journey is beginning. You are surrounded by a peaceful quiet. Beneath your feet, the ground feels soft and damp, carrying the earthy scent of moss-covered stones and faint purple heather. You are walking in the heart of the Isle of Skye, among towering basalt columns shaped by time itself. Above you, the sky is a pale silver grey, clouds drifting slowly, as if gently laying cotton blankets over the mountain peaks. There are only two sounds now: the distant, steady murmur of a waterfall, and the wind whispering softly as it moves between ancient stones. With unhurried steps, you begin to make your way toward the coast. The sea here is unlike any other. Its surface reflects deep navy and soft silver tones, like a calm, breathing mirror. The waves reach the shore gently, not crashing, not rushing, as if they are quietly lulling the smooth pebbles into sleep. The air leaves a cool, refreshing tingle on your skin, but you feel wrapped in warmth, as though a thick woolen cardigan or a soft blanket is resting comfortably around you. Far out at sea, small mist-covered islands rise from the water, silent and still, like enormous, drowsy whales floating just beneath the surface. Your path leads you to a small stone cottage. Thick walls, a thatched roof, a quiet black house waiting for you. As you step inside, the cool night air fades away, replaced by the warm, comforting scent of burning wood and peat from the fireplace. The fire crackles softly, a slow, steady rhythm, like the oldest and gentlest lullaby in the world. Golden light from the flames moves lazily across the stone walls, dancing, then settling. You sink into a wide, soft chair by the window. Outside, a light drizzle begins, raindrops sliding slowly down the glass, each tiny sound inviting you deeper into relaxation. In your hands, you imagine a warm cup of tea. The heat spreads from your palms, through your arms, and gently through your entire body. Now your eyelids grow heavy, comfortably heavy. You carry with you the vast green valleys of Scotland, the misty mountains, and that ancient, ever-present stillness. The wind outside becomes only a soft hum, the fire inside only a quiet warmth. Your mind is smooth and calm, like the surface of a silver loch at rest. With every gentle breath you take, you drift deeper and deeper into sleep, sliding softly into the waiting mist. The first light of morning slips gently through the small window of the cottage. The room is still dim, but outside the mist is slowly beginning to thin and fade. The sound of the sea grows clearer now. Waves move in a steady rhythm, soft and even, like a cradle gently rocking you back and forth. You rise from the bed and walk quietly toward the window. You are on the wild, untouched shores of the Isle of Lewis. Looking out, you see tall, rugged cliffs in the distance, and countless small waterfalls spilling down their dark faces. It almost feels as if the mountains themselves are softly weeping. Sunbeams slip through breaks in the grey clouds, scattering silver reflections across the surface of the sea. Along the shoreline, where the tide has pulled away, deep green seaweed glistens beside smooth, grey pebbles. The air is still cool, but clean and sharp. With every breath you take, you sense the fresh, salty scent of the ocean, pure, revitalizing, calm. You follow a narrow path leading toward an old stone lighthouse standing in the distance. It rises boldly atop a high cliff, facing the sea without fear. Its stones are worn and moss-covered, marked by time, storms, and countless passing years. Around the lighthouse, there is only the low howl of the wind and the steady voice of the waves. It feels as though the lighthouse has gathered every whisper of every storm and holds them quietly within. Here, words are unnecessary. There is only being, the strength of the sea, the movement of the wind, and your silent presence within this endless view. You look down at the surface of the water. The clouds and sky are reflected perfectly, as though two worlds have merged, one above and one below. You sit on the rocks at the base of the lighthouse and listen to the sea. With every wave that arrives, your worries soften and fade. With every wave that retreats, the sense of peace within you grows deeper and quieter. Now you find yourself farther inland. You are standing beside the clear waters of Loch Lomond. Lush green trees surround you, oak, pine, and tall ferns stretching into the forest's depths. The surface of the loch is smooth and still, like glass, reflecting the mountains and trees perfectly. From deep within the forest, you hear birdsong, soft calls and gentle melodies, nature's own quiet symphony. A light breeze moves through the reeds along the shore, creating a faint, soothing rustle. A sound that invites you into even deeper relaxation. You lie down on a large rock by the water's edge, its surface covered in soft green moss. The moss feels like a bed prepared just for you. Cool, gentle, supportive. Your eyes slowly close. Scotland's moist air rests lightly on your skin, a tender, calming touch. The lighthouses whisper, the rhythm of the waves, the birds' quiet songs, and the loch's gentle breath, all blend together. They rock you softly, steadily, toward sleep. Now the sounds drift farther away. The images blur and fade, until only peace remains, and rest. Take one deep, gentle breath, and allow yourself to sink fully into sleep. A soft, calming voice gently carries you into the heart of nature. Close your eyes and come with me. We begin a quiet journey through Scotland's wild landscapes. Endless green valleys, deep, still lakes, and mysterious islands resting in silence. Here, nature remains untouched. The wind tells old stories, and the waves hum gentle songs meant only for you. It is early morning on the shores of Loch Lomond, the largest freshwater lake in Scotland, stretching wide and open, breathing slowly beneath the sky. The water is so still it feels like glass, perfectly reflecting the surrounding hills. Behind us, the gentle rise of Ben Lomond begins to glow. As the sun slowly lifts, the mountain shifts from soft pink to warm shades of gold. Light touches the lake, and the surface becomes a shimmering blanket of calm. Morning mist drifts upward, revealing scattered islands, quiet, green shapes floating on the water. You walk along the shore. Beneath your feet, smooth pebbles are cool and damp, each step making a soft, comforting sound. The air smells clean and fresh, with a hint of moss and lake water. Ducks glide effortlessly across the surface, barely disturbing the silence. A sudden silver flash. A trout leaps, then disappears back into the deep. Nearby rests in Loch Island, known as the Island of the Old Woman. Beech trees cover its gentle slopes, their leaves whispering softly in the breeze. This is a protected place, where deer move quietly through the forest. You stand at the water's edge and listen. Only waves brushing the shore, leaves rustling, and a distant bird calling. On the western shore lies the village of Luss. Stone cottages line the path, their roofs low and welcoming. Gardens overflow with soft pink and lavender roses, spilling gently over old stone walls. Bees hum lazily, butterflies drift from flower to flower. Each garden feels like a quiet work of art, tended with patience and care. Toward the southern end of the lake, the water deepens in color. Here, the blue grows darker, more mysterious. Stories of hidden creatures linger beneath the surface, soft legends carried by the water. The lake is so clear, you can see shadows moving far below, slow and peaceful. Evening begins to fall. The sun sinks once more behind Ben Lomond. The sky ignites. Layers of orange, red, pink, and violet, spreading gently above you. The lake absorbs every color, as if the sky itself is melting into the water. Far away, a small boat passes, only a silhouette now, leaving soft ripples behind. From the calm of the lake, we drift into the heart of the Highlands. Glencoe opens before us, dramatic, ancient, and deeply still. Steep mountains rise on both sides, their Gaelic names rolling softly through the air. At the entrance stands Boachel Etive Mór, the great shepherd, strong, silent, and often wrapped in cloud. You walk deeper into the valley. Beside the path, a stream flows, dark with peat, moving slowly, steadily. Its gentle rhythm calms the mind, almost hypnotic. The hills are covered in purple heather, stretching like a soft blanket across the land. When the wind passes through, the valley seems to breathe. In the center of Glen Coe, the three sisters stand quietly together. Three mountain ridges, each with its own presence, its own calm strength. Bainfada, Giranonak, Anonak Dub. Between them, deep valleys and steep cliffs, open and close like slow breaths. When mist drifts in, the peaks disappear, then gently return, as if the mountains themselves are breathing. Waterfalls begin to appear, sliding down dark stone walls. At the meeting of three waters, streams come together in one place. Water collides with water, turning into soft white foam as it brushes against the rocks. The sound is powerful, yet deeply calming. Nature speaking in a steady, soothing voice. Hidden deeper inside the valley lies the Lost Valley. Reaching it takes effort, a quiet climb between rocks and stone. But when you arrive, you discover a secret world. A flat green meadow, surrounded completely by mountains. Long ago, clans hid their animals here, protected by the land itself. Now only silence remains, soft grass, still air, and a feeling of being safely held. The sky above Glen Coe is never the same for long. Sunlight breaks through, then clouds gather. A light rain begins, and soon after, a quiet rainbow appears. Here you can feel all four seasons within a single day. Night slowly settles in. The mountains become dark silhouettes, their sharp edges cutting into the sky. One by one, stars emerge. The darkness here is deep and complete, and the Milky Way stretches clearly overhead. It feels as if you are standing in the very center of the galaxy. Now we drift to the Isle of Skye, to the foot of the Cuillin Mountains. Here, the fairy pools rest quietly, natural jewels shaped by time and water. A clear mountain stream flows down, its water pure and bright. As it weaves through volcanic rock, it forms gentle pools, each one unique. You arrive at the first pool. The water glows turquoise, so clear you can see every stone below. Sunlight breaks across the surface, creating soft patterns of moving light. The pool edges are smooth, dark stone softened by time, covered in moss and quiet green life. Small waterfalls connect the pools. Some fall gently, like a silk curtain. Others flow with more energy, creating white foam as they land. The sound is steady and even, like white noise for the mind. Thoughts begin to fade. Breathing slows. The largest pool lies ahead. The water is cold, refreshing, clear beyond belief. Some people swim here, trusting the purity of the water. Locals call it fairy water, said to soften the skin and calm the spirit. You lie back on a smooth stone. The rock is cool beneath you. Water flows nearby, steady and reassuring. You close your eyes. The sun gently warms your face. A light breeze carries the scent of wild herbs and flowers. Behind you, the Quilin Mountains rise sharply into the sky. Dark, dramatic peaks, ancient and watchful. As evening approaches, the light softens. The water deepens in color, blue shifting toward violet. A raven glides silently overhead, its shadow drifting across the pools. We continue along the great glen, to the legendary waters of Loch Ness. The lake stretches long and dark, holding immense depth beneath its surface. You stand near the ruins of Urquhart Castle, looking out across the water. The lake appears almost black, colored by the ancient peat below. Light fades quickly here, feeding old stories and quiet legends. Wind ripples the surface, small waves moving steadily across the lake. In the distance, a movement catches your eye. For a moment, your heart quickens. Then calm returns. Just water, just wind. Still, the depth leaves room for wonder. At the southern end lies Fort Augustus. Here, boats pass slowly through canal locks, water levels rising and falling with ease. Gates open, then close again. A gentle rhythm of movement and rest, unchanged for generations. You walk along the edge of the lake. The path is narrow, lined with quiet birch trees. Leaves rustle softly in the wind, their silver undersides catching the light. The forest scent grows rich and deep. Damp earth, fallen leaves, a hint of pine resin. An ancient smell, wild and grounding. You kneel by the shore and cup the water in your hands. You take a small sip. The water is fresh and gentle, cool from the mountains, with a faint earthy note. Pure enough to drink, clean enough to trust. Evening calm settles in. Fishing boats return slowly to the harbour. Thief-caught trout and salmon, their day coming to a peaceful close. Seagulls follow behind, calling softly, circling for scraps. Night arrives quietly. The lake turns almost black, absorbing the last light of day. Stars appear on the surface, reflected so clearly, it feels like there are two skies, one above, one below. The moon rises, full and golden. Moonlight stretches across the water, a silver path, leading gently into infinity. Now we drift into the Cairngorms, the largest national park in Scotland. A vast land of open space, ancient ecosystems, and deep, steady silence. We enter Rothermurch's forest, an old Caledonian pine forest, home to towering Scots pines. Some trees have stood here for centuries, their trunks thick and grounded. Their bark carries warm reddish tones, peeling gently in rough patterns. The forest floor is covered in moss, soft, springy, absorbing every step. Sunlight filters through the branches, forming quiet columns of light. Tiny particles float and dance within them. The silence here is deep, but never empty. Birdsong drifts through the air. Far away, a deer calls out, low, powerful, echoing softly between the trees. a flash of movement. Red squirrels leap from branch to branch. Their tails are full and fiery, their movements quick and playful. You hold out your hand, a single nut resting on your palm. One squirrel approaches, careful, curious, then snatches it and vanishes. In the heart of the forest lies Loch Morlich, a clear, quiet lake, with mountains rising behind it. Even in summer, snow still lingers on the distant peaks. Along the shore, soft white sand forms a gentle beach. You step into the water, cold, refreshing, awakening. You float for a moment, looking up at the mountains. Beach and peaks together, a dreamlike contrast. Higher up, Glenmore Forest opens wide. This is red deer country. Early in the morning, a herd moves quietly through the land. They graze calmly, antlers branching wide and strong. A deep call breaks the silence, rolling across the hills. Above it all, golden eagles glide through the sky. Their wings stretch wide, catching invisible currents of warm air. They rise, circle, then dive and rise again, moving as if in a slow, silent dance. A ptarmigan hides among the rocks. In winter, its feathers turn pure white. In summer, brown and grey. Perfect camouflage. Even its feet are feathered, like tiny snowshoes, allowing it to walk on snow without sinking. You begin the climb upward. Cairn Gorm, 1,245 meters above the sea. The path is demanding, but every step carries a reward. With each 100 meters, the land slowly changes. First, dense forest, then open heathland. Low shrubs follow, bending gently in the wind. Higher still, alpine grasslands appear, short, resilient, alive. At the very top, only rock and lichen remain. At the summit stands a cairn, a simple pile of stones, placed here centuries ago. Every climber adds one more stone, a quiet tradition. The view opens completely, 360 degrees. The highlands stretch in every direction. Lakes shimmer in the sunlight. Valleys glow green and deep. The horizon feels endless. The wind is strong up here, 40, maybe 50 kilometers per hour. But the air is clean, pure, alive. You breathe it in deeply. Your head feels light, your chest full. A quiet sense of euphoria settles in. Now we drift west to Skye, Scotland's largest inner island, a place where mountains, coastlines, and lochs exist side by side. Along the Trotternish Ridge, the Quirang rises. Here, ancient landslides have sculpted the earth into something almost unreal. The Needle, a stone pillar, 37 meters tall, standing straight and narrow. Basalt rock, volcanic in origin, hard, yet slowly shaped by time. The Prison, a massive rock formation, surrounded by sheer cliffs. Its top is flat, but reaching it requires courage. Narrow paths, hands on stone. The Table, a hidden meadow, tucked between towering rocks. Flat, green, protected by natural walls. Long ago, entire herds were hidden here. During clan battles, thousands of animals out of sight. The walking path circles the Quirang, 6.8 kilometers of wonder. Every turn reveals something new. Cliffs, valleys, sharp stone edges. The green is so vivid, it almost feels unreal. Mist drifts in and out, hiding the land, then revealing it again. Old Man of Store. The store rises above the land, 719 meters high. And before it stands the Old Man, a stone spire, 55 meters tall. Dark grey basalt columns stand tightly together. The top is sharp, the base wide and grounded. Smaller stones surround it, like children and grandchildren gathered nearby. Every season changes this place. Spring brings bright green life. Summer fills the slopes with flowers. Autumn turns everything gold. Winter covers the stones in snow. Quiet, surreal. When mist arrives, the old man fades, then reappears. Like a ghost, rising from the clouds. In the early morning, it seems to float alone, above a sea of fog. Near the village of Uge, Fairy Glen appears. A miniature landscape, as if a giant hand gently shaped the earth. Small grassy cones rise from the ground, like tiny volcanoes, soft and rounded. Their tops are flat, covered in bright green grass. Between them, winding paths twist and turn. Old sheep trails, gently carved into the hills. Sheep graze quietly. Small white dots, scattered across the green. They move slowly, peacefully, completely at home. At the center of the valley rises Castle Ewan, a natural rock formation, layer upon layer of stone. Its shape curves inward, almost like a spiral. Legends surround this place. They say it is the home of fairies, a place where they gather at night, dancing beneath the moon. The silence feels different here, mysterious, alive. Only the wind moves, softly brushing the grass. A bird calls in the distance. As the sun begins to set, shadows grow long. The shapes of the hills slowly change. The valley seems to breathe, to shift, to awaken. For a moment, it feels like another world. Now the journey drifts farther west, out into the Atlantic Ocean. The Outer Hebrides, a long chain of islands, stretching for more than 200 kilometers. 15 large islands, more than 50 small ones, wind-shaped, wave-carved, endlessly open. To the north, the Isle of Lewis. To the south, the Isle of Harris. They are one island, yet feel completely different. Lewis feels ancient. Wide open land, low skies, deep history. Here stand the Callanish stones. A stone circle, 5,000 years old. 13 main stones, arranged in a cross-like shape. The tallest rises 5 meters high. Formed from Lewisian gneiss, one of the oldest rocks on Earth, nearly 3 billion years old. The surface of the stones is rough, covered in lichen, orange, grey, and soft green. Wind and rain have shaped them over countless centuries, rounding their edges. You place your hand on the stone. It feels cool, solid, timeless. You stand among the stones and gently close your eyes. The wind moves around you. Far away, the sound of waves reaches your ears. What happened here long ago? Astronomy? Rituals? A calendar for the stars? No one knows for sure. But something can be felt. A quiet energy, a presence. On the Isle of Harris, Luscantire Beach slowly appears. Often called the most beautiful beach in Scotland. The beach stretches for miles. Soft white sand, turquoise water, gentle green hills, resting quietly in the background. The sand feels like powder beneath your feet. It softly squeaks with every step you take. You bend down and collect seashells, oyster shells, mussels, sea snails, shades of pink, white, and warm brown rest in your palm. The water is cold, clear, and incredibly pure. Around 12 degrees, bracing, yet refreshing. The colors feel Caribbean. but the air is unmistakably Scottish. A cool breeze moves across your skin. Clouds drift slowly overhead. The contrast feels dreamlike, almost unreal. Just beyond the dunes, the MEDİA begins. A rare coastal grassland, where fresh water and salt water meet in the soil. In summer, wildflowers bloom everywhere. Yellow, pink, purple, white. The ground becomes a living carpet of color. Bright, delicate, full of quiet life. Now the journey drifts farther west, far beyond the outer Hebrides, out into open Atlantic waters. Street Kilda appears, the most remote place in Scotland, uninhabited since 1930. Herta, the main island, rises from the sea. Vertical cliffs tower above the waves, nearly 400 meters high. Dark basalt rock, sharp vertical columns. Below, the ocean crashes endlessly. Waves strike the cliffs and explode into white spray. This is one of the world's largest seabird colonies. Northern gannets glide overhead. Tens of thousands of pairs. Puffins dart through the air, colorful and fast. Fulmars, kittiwakes, razorbills. The sky feels alive. Birds circling, diving, calling out. The sound becomes a vast natural orchestra. Thousands of voices blending into one. The cliffs are white in places, layered over time. A sign of life, persistence, and survival. So sheep wander the island, an ancient breed, small, brown, wild. Their horns curve into spirals. They move quickly, keeping their distance. Isolated here for thousands of years. You reach Village Bay, Stone remains of a lost settlement. Small round structures stand quietly. Claytian, old storage huts. More than 1,000, scattered across the land. Roofless stone walls. The wind moves through them, whistling softly. The silence here feels deep. Only waves, only wind, only birds. No clocks, no schedules, no urgency. Just nature and you. Far to the north, the Orkney Islands wait. 70 islands in total. Only some are inhabited. A place where history and quiet rest side by side. We arrive on mainland Orkney, the heart of the islands, a place where time feels thin and gentle. Hidden beneath sand dunes, Skara Brae rests quietly. A Neolithic village, over 5,000 years old. Revealed by a storm, in the winter of the 1800s. You walk closer. The houses sit low in the earth. Stone walls protect them from wind and cold. Each home follows the same design. A central hearth. Stone beds. Stone shelves. Even stone furniture. The houses connect through covered stone passages. Protected, sheltered, thoughtfully planned. The stonework is remarkable. Flat slabs, precisely fitted. The stone is Orkney flagstone. Layered rock, easy to split, perfect for shaping daily life. Doorways are low. You bend as you enter. Inside, the air is cool. Damp stone, ancient earth, a deep, timeless scent. The walls are thick, well insulated. 5,000 years ago, this was a warm, comfortable home. Now you stand within a vast stone circle, The ring of Broja stretches wide across the land, more than 100 meters across. Once 60 stones. Today, 27 remain standing. The stones are tall and thin. 2, 3, sometimes 4 meters high. You step into the center, slowly turning, looking around. Each stone feels like a doorway, framing pieces of sky. The wind moves between them, sometimes whistling, sometimes softly howling. The sky above is dramatic. Dark grey clouds, breaks of light, sunbeams touching stone. Being this far north, the light feels different. Low, soft, golden. Nearby, Meisho rises gently. From the outside, it looks like a grassy mound. Wide, rounded, quiet. Inside lies a Neolithic tomb, 5,000 years old. You crouch and enter a narrow passage, 10 meters long, low and enclosed. At the end, light begins to open. The central chamber appears. The ceiling rises high above you. Carefully stacked stone slabs. No mortar. Perfect balance. Small burial chambers rest in the corners. Empty now. Silent. Waiting. On the winter solstice, the sun aligns perfectly. For just a few minutes, light travels down the corridor and fills this room with gold. Then darkness returns. Ancient astronomy. Precise. Intentional. On the walls, Viking runes remain. Carved centuries later. A quiet message from the past. A name. A boast. A moment frozen in stone. Now the journey drifts to Hoi, the tallest of the Orkney Islands. From the cliffs, You look out to sea. Far below, waves crash endlessly. Standing alone in the water is the old man of Hoy, a towering sea stack, rising straight from the ocean. Lead red sandstone, balanced and bold. It looks fragile, yet has stood for centuries. The wind is strong here. You steady yourself. Seabirds spiral around the stone. Further inland, you find the dwarfy stain, a massive single block of rock, carved by human hands. You crawl slowly inside. The space is dark, cool, still. Stone beds are carved within, even stone pillows. Who rested here? A leader, a shaman, a forgotten soul. No answers remain, only silence and time. We drift farther north now, to the Shetland Islands, Scotland's northern edge, closer to Norway than to mainland Scotland. The air feels sharper here, the sea wider, the stories older. At the southern tip of Shetland, cliffs rise straight from the ocean. Nearly 90 meters high. Dark stone, endless waves below. This is puffin country. Thousands of them, resting, calling, flying. Puffins are small and charming. Black and white feathers, bright orange beaks, soft, curious eyes. On land, they waddle gently, a little clumsy, almost playful. In the air, they surprise you. Fast wings, rapid beats, strong and focused. Their nests hide in the cliffs. Small tunnels in the earth, safe, protected. You watch one return from the sea. its beak full of tiny fish, lined up neatly, carried with care. Food for its chick. A quiet act of devotion. On Shetland's western coast, the land becomes wild. Here, cliffs twist and fold. The sea carves deep scars into the rock. At the holes of Scrada, the ocean disappears below. Waves rush into a collapsed cave. Pressure builds. Sound deepens. Then water bursts upward. A sudden spray, like a sea geyser. Nearby, the grind of the Navier stretches out. A natural stone bridge, reaching over the ocean. Waves thunder beneath it. The rock trembles slightly. You step carefully. Wind pressing against you. Sea roaring below. Now the land softens. History gathers here. At Jalshof, 5,000 years unfold in one place. Stone Age homes, Bronze Age huts, Viking longhouses, medieval farms, all layered together. One world built upon another. You enter a Viking longhouse. Long and wide. Stone walls holding the wind outside. The central hearth sits open. Fire once burned here. Smoke rising into the roof. This was a chieftain's home. A place of stories, feasts, decisions. Shetland ponies. In nearby fields, small figures move slowly. Shetland ponies. Short and sturdy, thick manes blowing in the wind. You approach gently. One steps closer, curious, calm. You rest a hand on its nose. warm, soft, steady. Now we drift south again, to the Isle of Arran, often called Scotland in miniature. Mountains, beaches, forests, castles, all in one place. Goat Fell, the island's highest peak, rising quietly above the land. You begin the climb. The path winds through granite stone, rough, solid, ancient. Hours pass gently. Breath slows, thoughts quiet. At the summit, everything opens. A full circle of land and sea. To one side, the Scottish coast. To another, distant islands. Far out, a solitary volcanic rock rises from the water. On the clearest days, you can see 3 lands at once. Scotland, England, Ireland. You stand still. Wind moving gently around you. The journey slows. The body softens. The mind drifts. And as the landscape fades, sleep arrives quietly. We drift into Glen Rosa now. A dramatic valley, shaped slowly by ancient ice. The land opens into a wide U shape. A flat, gentle valley floor. Steep sides rising quietly on both sides. A stream flows through the center. Clear water, tinted softly brown by peat and earth. The sound is steady, not loud, not rushed, just enough to calm the mind. You walk beside it slowly. Each step feels grounded, safe, supported. The land flattens again, and stones begin to appear. Macri-Moor. An ancient gathering place, older than memory. 6 stone circles rest here. Some colored by time. You stand among them quietly. No answers are required here, only presence. Now the land meets the sea. A rocky shoreline, waves breathing in and out. Hidden along the coast is King's Cave. A deep, simple opening in the rock. Cool air inside, salt and stone. Long ago, a king is said to have rested here. Watching a spider. Learning patience. Learning persistence. The cave walls hold markings. Simple carvings. Crosses. Animals. Old symbols. You place a hand on the stone. Cold, solid, unmoved by time. You have wandered through Scotland's wild places. You have seen reflections on quiet lakes. Climbed toward distant peaks. Found stillness on remote islands. You touched ancient stones. Watched wildlife move freely. Felt the land slow your breath. Nature has rinsed you clean. Softened your thoughts. Your eyes grow heavy now. Waves echo gently in your ears. The wind whispers softly around you. The earth breathes beneath you. You are calm. You are safe. You are held. Before sleep fully arrives, we drift one last time to a small, quiet island. Stoffa. You approach by boat. The shoreline rises suddenly. Not sand, not cliffs. Perfect stone columns. Tall, hexagonal, side by side, like a structure built by giants. Fingal's cave opens between them. A vast entrance, dark, inviting. You glide inside, and the sound changes. Waves strike the walls, echoing, repeating, becoming music. The ceiling arches above you. Stone columns forming a natural dome. A cathedral shaped by the sea. An organ played by water and wind. Light slips inside, touches the water, paints the walls. Blue, green, turquoise, shimmering softly. The reflections move slowly, like breathing, like dreams. And now, the journey fades. Sleep takes over gently. Deep inside the cave, you stop and listen. Waves breathing against stone. Water dripping softly. The low hum of wind moving through rock. This is nature's symphony. No conductor, no beginning, no end. You close your eyes and surrender to the sound. Now the scene gently shifts. North of Loch Lomond, to a small but powerful waterfall. You approach along a narrow path. You hear it first. A deep, steady rush of water. Then it appears between the trees. Water drops in two gentle steps. The first fall, strong, energetic. White water churning, alive. The second fall softens. The water spreads wide. Like a flowing white curtain. Mist hangs in the air. Cool, light, refreshing. When sunlight touches the spray, a faint rainbow appears. Sometimes two. Soft purples and gentle shapes. Large ferns spread their ancient leaves. Broad, textured, almost prehistoric. At the base, a deep pool has formed. Clear, moving, alive. Currents swirl slowly. Silver fish glide through the water. You sit on a warm rock, listening, letting the sound wash over you. The rhythm is steady, monotone, comforting. Your eyes soften. Time loosens its grip. There is only now. We drift farther north, to one of the wildest beaches in Scotland. Reaching it takes effort. A long walk across open moorland. No signs, no buildings, only a quiet path forward. Each step feels purposeful. Each breath slower than the last. Then you crest a low hill, and the beach reveals itself. Your breath pauses. A wide sweep of pale sand. Soft pinks and warm golds. Turquoise water rolls in gently. White waves dissolving into foam. Green hills rise behind you. A deep blue sky above. The colors feel unreal. Too vivid. Too perfect. You walk down through the dunes. Sand slides beneath your feet. And then you step onto the beach. Empty. Completely empty. Only you. The shore. And the endless sea. At the northern edge of the beach, something stands alone in the sea. A tall sea stack. 65 meters of red sandstone. Layered rock, stacked gently. A flat top, calm and steady. Waves circle its base. White foam forming glowing halos. You walk along the sand. Your footprints are the first. No other marks. No signs of anyone else. The sand is soft and damp. It shapes itself beneath your feet. You pause to collect shells. Smooth, delicate, worn by time. Some are violet, some warm orange, some shimmer with rainbow light. The waves reach the shore. Strong, rhythmic, steady. Each one arrives like a slow heartbeat. White foam spreads across the sand, then gently pulls away. The sand darkens, wet, quiet. The sky is restless. Clouds move quickly overhead. A western wind carries cool air. One moment, sunlight turns the sand to gold. Then clouds soften everything. Colors fade and slowly return. The light is dramatic, always changing, never still. You climb onto the rocks. Toward the northern cliffs. From above, the beach stretches out. Curving, flowing, seemingly endless. The sea is deep blue now. Heavy, calm, powerful. Far on the horizon, the Isle of Lewis rests like a shadow. The silence here is deep, but never empty. Waves, wind, distant gulls. No human voices. No urgency. Beyond civilization. Outside of time. One of the largest cave mouths in Britain. You stand at the edge and look inside. Darkness. Depth. Uncertainty. You step forward. The first chamber opens wide. The cathedral chamber. The ceiling rises high above you. 35 meters of stone and shadow. The walls are limestone. Cool. Wet. Breathing slowly. Stalactites hang from above. Some stretch several meters long. The ground beneath your feet is uneven, smooth with moisture. You move through a narrow passage. The sound begins to change. Water. Movement. A distant fall. The inner chamber reveals itself. Dark. Echoing. Alive. From above, a waterfall drops. 20 meters of white water. It crashes into the chamber below. The sound fills the space. Powerful. Surrounding. Almost overwhelming. A deep pool forms beneath it. Black. Cold. Still. The water is icy, barely above freezing. Mist rises from the surface. Soft vapor drifting through the cave. The air cools your skin. Your breath slows. You stand quietly, listening, letting the cave hold you. There is no electric light here. Only daylight slipping in from the entrance. But deeper inside, darkness becomes complete. You switch on your flashlight. A narrow beam cuts through the dark. The light moves across the walls. Wet stone begins to glow. Rocks shimmer softly. Greens of algae, burnt orange lichens. Colors appear, then fade, as the beam drifts onward. Long ago, in the early 1800s, human bones were found here. Some believe they were Viking sacrifices. The cave itself is born of two forces. The outer chamber carved by the sea. The inner chamber shaped by fresh water. Salt and river, wave and waterfall. Two powers meeting, creating this quiet wonder together. Now we travel north, near the town of Ullapool. A narrow gorge opens in the land, carved by ancient ice. The canyon stretches far ahead. Deep, steep, silent. An old suspension bridge crosses the gap. Built in the late 19th century. Iron chains hold it in the air. Wooden planks sway beneath your feet. Each step causes a gentle motion. You pause and look down. Far below, the gorge drops away. Vertical rock walls, dark, moss-covered. At the far end, water plunges downward. The Falls of Misak. The river narrows, forced through stone. Pressure builds. Water explodes into white foam. The sound is everywhere. Echoing, rolling, endless. Standing on the bridge, the gorge seems to breathe. Mist fills the air. Cool droplets touch your face. Sunlight finds the spray. A rainbow appears. It shifts slowly, dancing as the light moves. Life clings to every surface. Oak, beech, moss blankets everything. A soft green curtain. From the viewing platform, you see the whole scene. The waterfall a thin white line. The gorge a dark seam in the earth. Tree canopies trace the rim. A gentle green edge. We return to the Isle of Skye. Behind the old man of store, hidden lakes wait quietly. Few visitors come this way. The path climbs higher. The ascent is demanding. But the view rewards every step. The first lake appears. Loch Leven. Wide. Still. Perfectly calm. The mountains reflect in its surface. Quirang mirrored with flawless symmetry. Sky above, sky below. Clouds drift in both worlds. You sit at the water's edge. Silence feels complete. No voices, no roads, no signs of time. A faint breeze ripples the surface. Reflections break, then slowly heal. Higher still lies the second lake. Loch Fada. Long and narrow, held tightly between mountains. The water is dark blue. Deep. Mysterious. Heather surrounds the shore. A sea of purple. When the wind moves through it, the hills begin to wave. Like an ocean made of flowers. At sunset, these lakes become magical. The sun slides slowly behind the Quilin Mountains. The sky layers itself in color. Orange, pink, soft purple. The light is gentle now, golden, wrapping everything it touches. The lakes drink in these colors, as if the sky itself is pouring into the water. Reflections deepen, edges soften. Time feels suspended. We travel east to the Murray coast. Near the village of Portknockey, a strange shape rises from the sea. Bowfiddle Rock. A sandstone sculpture shaped like a violin bow. Wave by wave, the ocean carved its center away. A graceful arch now stands, 15 meters high. Waves pass beneath it, endlessly, patiently. From the cliffs above, you look down. The sea is clear, blue-green and calm. The rock glows red-brown. Horizontal layers telling ancient stories. Seaweed sways below, black and deep green. When the tide is low, you walk closer. Across firm sand, then onto slippery stone. Careful steps, slow breaths. You stand beneath the arch, looking up. The sky is framed in blue. A perfect window of light. Waves rush through the opening. White foam blooms. The sound changes here. Each wave arrives with a deep whoosh and leaves with a long shhhhh, as if the rock itself is breathing. Seabirds nest along the cliffs. Kittiwakes, fulmars, shags. They circle and dive, calling to one another. At sunset, Bowfiddle becomes a silhouette. Black and elegant, against a burning sky. The sun rests on the horizon, round, red. 3 kilometers of quiet focus. You move through Nevis Gorge. The canyon is narrow. Walls rise straight up, stone on stone. Boulders lie scattered, massive, ancient. The path winds carefully, sometimes beside water, sometimes over rock. Ahead, the wire bridge appears. 3 cables only. 1 for your feet, 2 for your hands. Below, the stream rushes. Fast, cold, alive. You step onto the bridge. It sways gently, flexible, responsive. Each step requires attention. The middle is the hardest. The movement strongest there. You breathe, focus, continue. And then, solid ground again. A quiet sense of achievement settles in. Steel Falls stands before you, magnificent. Water drops from high above, so high it first appears as a thin white ribbon. As it falls, it widens. The water breaks apart, turning into white foam. At the base, rocks wait below. The water crashes against them. Spray bursts outward. Mist rises into the air, like soft breath. You walk closer to the falls. Cool droplets touch your face. Refreshing, cleansing. The sound is powerful now. It fills everything. There is nothing else to hear. The rock walls are wet. They shine softly, covered in deep green moss. Ahead, a wide meadow opens. Steel meadows. Flat, green, dotted with small wildflowers. Mountains circle the valley. The waterfall stands behind them, a perfect frame. You lie down in the grass. The sun warms your face. The sound of water fills your ears. You close your eyes. A deep calm settles inside you. We travel far north now, to Scotland's northeastern edge, near John O'Groats. Duncansby Head rises ahead. Cliffs drop straight down, 60 meters high. Red sandstone walls. The sea churns below, white foam swirling endlessly. The wind is strong here. It presses against you, pushes past you. Out in the water, two pillars stand alone. The Duncansby stacks. The first rises tall. The second stands slightly lower. Narrow, vertical, sharp at the top. Waves strike their bases. White rings of foam, forming again and again. Between the cliffs, a narrow inlet opens. A hidden geo. Waves rush inside. The space tightens. Pressure builds. Water explodes upward. A sudden burst. A whistling sound. The cliffs are alive with birds. Thousands of seabirds. Puffins, guillemots, razorbills, fulmars, kittiwakes. They fill the sky, diving, calling, circling. The cliffs are streaked white. layers left behind by generations of wings. You walk carefully along the edge. It feels like the edge of the world. Beyond cities, beyond noise, beyond time. Hidden away in Glen Coe, away from the main road, lies Clashig Gully. A narrow canyon, filled with falling water. There is no clear path here. You simply follow the stream. Stepping from stone to stone. Sometimes beside the water, sometimes through it. It feels like a quiet adventure. The first waterfall appears. Not very high, but wide. Water spreads as it falls, breaking into white foam. You climb around the side. The rocks are wet. You search for steady handholds. The second waterfall waits above. Taller, stronger. Water drops with force. Its sound fills the canyon. Below it, a deep pool rests. Dark green, brown with peat, cold and still. You pass slowly, carefully, feeling the chill. Higher still, the canyon narrows. Walls press closer together. The final waterfall rushes through. White water, fast and restless. You climb using hands and feet. Stone beneath your fingers. Water moving beside you. At last, you reach the top. The canyon opens. Glen Coe stretches out below. Mountains surround the valley. A quiet sense of achievement settles in. Your breath slows. Your body relaxes. Now we drift onward. Between Glencoe and Fort William lies Rannoch Moor. Wide, empty, unchanged. The road cuts straight through it. It feels endless. All around you, open land stretches outward. Low grasses, purple heather, scattered pools of water. No trees, only earth and sky. A small loch rests beside the road. Still as glass, perfectly calm. Mountains reflect on its surface. The reflection is so clear, it feels unreal. You walk out onto the moor. The ground feels soft, springy beneath your feet. Water rises gently with each step. Peatland stretches in every direction. White cotton grass sways in the wind. Delicate, light, floating like clouds. Tiny sundew plants cling to the soil. Quiet hunters of the bog. In the distance, a small station appears. Rannoch Station. Just one building. No houses nearby. A train passes through the wilderness. Steam rises. A soft whistle echoes. Then silence returns. The moor feels vast. The quiet is deep, but never empty. Only wind, distant water, moving clouds above. The sky feels enormous here. Endless, open, free. In storms, this place can feel wild and untamed. But now, it feels calm. Like a wide, open breath. Your thoughts slow. Your body softens. You are safe. Hidden in Sutherland, a Gmelvik beach feels almost unreal. White sand, clear. On both sides, rounded granite rocks rise softly. Pink stone, smoothed by time and waves. From the rocks above, you notice something hidden. A smaller beach beyond the cove. Quiet, empty, untouched. The water is cool, but inviting. You swim slowly. The sea is so clear. You can see the bottom below you. Starfish glow softly in orange. Purple shells rest on the sand. Green seaweed moves gently with the tide. As the water pulls back, rock pools appear. Tiny worlds left behind by the sea. Sea anemones bloom in soft pink. Small fish flicker through the water. Crabs hide beneath smooth stones. Each pool feels like its own universe. You climb the rocks again. The coastline stretches far into the distance. Islands, curving bays, endless turquoise water. Some call this place Scotland's Italian Riviera. As the sun begins to set, everything turns golden. The sand glows warm yellow. The sea reflects pink and violet light. The sky burns softly above. All sound fades away. Only gentle waves remain. Time feels slower here, almost still. Romantic, peaceful, safe. We have wandered through Scotland's hidden places. Echoing caves, falling water, open beaches, endless moors. Every place unique, every moment gentle. Your eyes grow heavy. Waves whisper in the distance. A waterfall hums far away. The wind moves softly around you. You feel calm. You feel protected. The quiet spirit of Scotland surrounds you, holding you, letting you drift. The waves keep moving, slow, steady, endless. Each wave arrives, then quietly fades away. Nothing to do, nothing to think about. Just listening. Breathing in. Breathing out. The sea stays the same. Soft water on sand. Again. And again. Your body feels heavy, comfortable. The sound of the waves blends into the night. Time no longer matters. Only the rhythm remains. Waves coming in. Waves pulling back. Slow. Gentle. Forever. You are still here. Walking on quiet sand. At the edge of the sea. And the waves continue.